Okay, where do I even start? In this video, I am going to talk about sexual liberation and the misconception of it all because the way I thought it was and the way the media is describing it is totally different things. So I'm going to give you my opinion in this video. So when I first heard the word sexual liberation, I thought it meant to be just like basically liberated within your sexuality and being confident in your sex life, because liberation just means to be free and not be a slave and not be imprisoned by whatever. So that's what I thought it meant, but then turns out, because I've been getting pulled into these type of conversations, and I'm like, oh boy. So these dudes that I talk to, they were telling me that women feel that sexual liberation is to just have sex with anyone without judgment. And I'm like, oh, okay. First and foremost, let me get my thoughts out the way. Besides spreading diseases, sexual transmitted diseases, sex is a spiritual connection, whether it's intentional or not, whether you're trying to be intimate with the person or not, it's still a spiritual connection. And it's very easy to transfer energies when you're performing this act with somebody that you know, or like a stranger that you just hooked up with at the club. For an example, because I've been told this by my mentor and a few of the men who get it, and this is how they described it, and I actually agree with this. And some of you ladies might get upset, but it's the truth. So the reason why it's more the reason why the woman gets the burden more after sex is because, think about it like this. So you have a cup, right? So the cup is your cooch. So the cup is your cooch, and the hand is a guy's dick, right? So you have a cup of water or juice, whatever, orange juice, tea, whatever's in your cup. The guy takes his hand and dips it in the cup, right? So takes his hand out, hand is, wet or whatever. It's easy to wash off and keep it moving. However, now the juice is tainted and you have to dump it out and cleanse the cup and pour another drink in. So when you think about it like that, not that men can't get diseases, and it's not that men can't get these spiritual energy transfers. It's just that we're more in tune, and we're more emotional, and we're more spiritual. And we have a hole. So we're going to take the burden of a little bit more harsh than the men. And I mean, the truth is the truth, whether you like it or not. But then again, on the flip side, when you understand that, you start to choose men more wisely. So the ball is always in our court. We got to choose the type of men that we want to lay down with. And it's a pro. It's a pro to us and a con for them. So look at it like that. So it's not all that bad. We just got to be more careful of who we lay down with. But if you still want to go down this route of just doing casual hookups and stuff like that without being judged, I don't judge and I don't care, because it's not affecting my bills. So you can do whatever you want to do. And I don't think you should be judged for it. But the bottom line is, not everybody's going to agree with it. So you're going to get judged anyway. And that's something that you can't help. And So that's one. You're gonna get judged anyway. And two, if you're gonna go down this route, don't do it based off of what you're seeing in the media. Like these women, these celebrities, they're promoting this sexual liberation. And although some of them have the right idea, a lot of them have bodyguards, they have protection. They can run around singing and saying free the nipple and whatever. But to the regular chick like you and I, we don't have bodyguards and all that protection. So that's something to think about if you're going to want to do these casual hookups, sexual liberation, whatever the frick y'all calling this, evolution, whatever. I don't know. And then the third one to keep in mind, to keep in mind, if you're doing this to compete with men, because if men can do it, we can do it. Let me just say this: men are not out here hooking up with as much women as you think, because men can't get cooch like that. Like, even though they have a good talk, most of them are not getting pussy. The men that you see that are the 1%. And it's not just the men who got money. It's just men who just really look attractive. And you see it all the time, like these men who just, you hear about like one or the two men in your neighborhood or the town, whatever, they get so much cooch or whatever. It's because they look good, and women are attracted to that particular type of guy. So those are the men you're competing with. And if you're doing it for that reason, good luck. Because I just feel like it's a waste of breath. I don't know if I'm making sense, but now for the women who want to take a different route, because you could still be sexually liberated without messing with a bunch of men. Like, you could just be liberated with just one person, or if you want to keep it really real, you could be liberated by having fun with yourself. Like, you don't need to mess around with a bunch of guys to prove a point. Yeah, my best advice for those who want to feel sexually liberated without doing all that rah-rah stuff is to take the lone wolf approach. Now, this might get off topic, but I am going somewhere with this. So, in the Native American tribe that I'm a part of, we get our nicknames, and then we find out what our spiritual animal guides are. It's just like the zodiac sign, and it's just like the Chinese calendar, which each year there's a different animal. Like mine's is the year of the dog in the Chinese culture. But in the tribe, we get different kinds of like animal spirits, like bear, beaver, deer, squirrel, all that Native American stuff. So when I got mine, I knew, I had a feeling it was going to be this animal, but I didn't want it to be. I wanted to be an animal that's more like outgoing and friendly. Like the beavers, they have their community and all that stuff. But just like my intuition, I got the wolf. And I was tight. But I knew that I was going to get this spirit guide because I act like that anyway, like a lone wolf, just doing my own thing. And it took me some time, but now I accept it, and I realize how being a lone wolf could be a good thing. Because growing up, I would see people doing the most wildest shit, and I'm like, nah, I'm not fucking with that. So I would always do my own thing. And even now, as of today, like I had no idea this whole feminism and sexual, like of course I'm not blind to it. I've heard of the feminism movement and whatnot. That I didn't know there was like a whole sexual liberation, free the nipple and have sex with as many men as you want and whatever. I didn't know it was that toxic. And me being the lone wolf that I am, I just do my own thing and think for myself. So for any women who do not want to get caught up in that, I would advise to take that lone wolf approach. Now, it doesn't mean be antisocial and like live in your own bubble, but just sometimes it's good to separate and do your own thing. You know what I'm saying? To sum this up, because I did not want this to be a long video, do what you want. I mean, who cares at the end of the day? It's not like anybody's paying your bills. So if you want to have all this fun, go right ahead. But just keep in mind of that cup analogy that I explained earlier, and be careful, because some men, not all men, but some men are kind of crazy. And yeah.